Hi there, how are you? This is Lois. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're self-distancing because you know it's Corona time. So I hope you are taking good care of yourself and taking good care of everybody else. However, that is not the reason why I am doing this video today. Today's video is to encourage somebody. Yes. In these bad times, with whatever is happening around, I think we can all do with some encouragement, right? So, if you haven't subscribed, if this is your first time here, you're welcome. Please subscribe. I do so many videos about life in Canada, about immigration to Canada. So there is so many things that you can learn here, and the reason I do these videos about Canada is to create awareness, because come on, I'm here, I can give you the real things that do happen here, and when you're preparing to come, then you have the right information, you have some awareness, and you know what you're going to expect when you immigrate to Canada. So that said, and that's the reason why I want to encourage somebody. There is so many negative things that I have heard about immigrating, and truthfully there are bad things. So I'm not here to say that all that is hogwash. No, I am here to tell you the truth, okay, from my real life experience. So again, this is my experience, this is my opinion, okay? So I do respect other people's opinions. There are people who are going to have differing opinions, and right, that's okay. But I'm going to give you my truth, my experience, because I just don't want you to come to immigrate without the right frame of mind. I know I am in the business of helping you immigrate, that is my job, but wherever you want to immigrate to, whether you want to come to Canada, whether you want to go to the United States, whether you want to go to Europe or UAE, these things are going to apply as long as you want to leave home, because you are immigrating, okay? All right, so is abroad the land of milk and honey? We used to say, you know, when I was growing up, when I was fantasizing about going to the United States many years ago, I used to think that, oh, abroad was the land of milk and honey, and that's what people used to say. Then I came here and I realized, oh, I didn't see the honey, I didn't see the milk, I saw the maple trees. Then I realized very fast that yes, this is the land of milk and honey, and I'm not in the United States, I am in Canada. But I realized that this truly is the land of milk and honey and maple syrup. But my friend, you have to bring your cows and your bees. Okay? Those are things, those are lessons I learned. So this is to encourage you. And the reason I am here to encourage you is there is such a bad vibe out there about immigrating. There are people who make you feel bad because you immigrated. There are a lot of people who are discouraging you. You have that dream. A lot of people discouraging you. You also have that inner person who creeps to you and tells you, oh my God, maybe you're making a bad decision. So that is why I want to make this video. I happened to be in a platform maybe a week ago, and this platform, people started to say, okay, the discussion was, the people who are abroad tell us how life is abroad. And I went through each and every comment that there was. And I tell you, my friend, I just realized that, yeah, there was the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so is life everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's going to be the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it looked like the ugly and the bad carried the day with immigrating. And I said, you know what? Many a times we don't have that courage to talk and say the truth. Other times we listen at the negatives and we cower. And, you know, we go back to our shells and we're like, oh my God, I think I'm scared. Yes, so that is why I want to tell you this. Again, is this the land of milk and honey? That's my question. Do you think abroad, do you think going anywhere abroad, you're going to the land of milk and honey? It is and it is not. Immigrating is not for everybody. I have said this many times. Yes, I am in this business, but immigrating is not for everybody. And again, this is my opinion. It's not for everybody. There are people who thrive where they are. There are people who would thrive when they immigrate. There are people who will immigrate and hate it and regret. And I have seen these cases. So it's good to know yourself. It's good to know, is this for me? And that is why I want just to do some clarifications here. So a lot of people said it sucks. People who live abroad, they're like, oh my god, it sucks. There's no happiness, there's no social connection, it's terrible out there, I wish I could go home. And you know what, they are right, because that is their opinion. Okay, everybody's opinion matters, and everybody's opinion is the truth because it's their truth. Okay, so if you ask me about something, I may say, oh, I love it. Another person would say, oh, yikes. Another person would say, I cannot even touch it even if you paid me. Okay? Depends, everything depends on people's perspectives. And if you're thinking of going abroad, you're going to hear a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of advice. There's everything out there. It's up to you to have the discernment to know what it is you're looking for, to sift through the noise and pick the good and evaluate, because every place is going to be good and bad. It is good to these people, it is bad to these people. It sucks to some, okay? Every place, whether it is Kenya, whether it's Canada, whether it's United States or Europe or Dubai or wherever. It's going, even, there are people who go to some places, there are people go to Saudi, right? And people thrive there. And, we've heard all the horror cases there. So every case is going to be different. But then there's that general perspective. I do believe coming abroad is way better than, for me, than what than my past life. Okay, and that is my perspective. It's way better than my past life, and I didn't have a bad life. So people say it sucks, it's bad, it's all this, it's this. I want you to take time. I want you to think and ask yourself, who are these people who are saying things are so bad? Okay. I'm going to say this. A lot of people who say they can never go abroad, they can never leave home, they hate it, they can never go. A lot of those, just be careful, a lot of them tried, they have applied for visas and they were denied. Others know they would not qualify. Okay? Others have been fed with a lot of fears from media, from everywhere. So they have the hearsay. Okay? Others came here and they went back, it didn't work for them. Guess what? Others are here. They are stuck. There's the final class of people who are here. They are doing well, but they just want to be the only ones with opportunities. Yes, there's all those classes of people. When I was trying to see where I could go, when I was trying to leave the country, and I reached out to some people in some countries, and I used to work for the government, and someone was like, a lot of people are like, stay where you are. Yes, people told me to stay where I was. They were like, oh, why would you leave a government job, a good job, and go abroad and come here? It sucks here. And they were giving me their life experience, because that is what they had encountered. Because not everybody thrives when they come abroad. So they had every right to tell me that. But then I had every right to make the decision that was right for me. Okay? Then there are people who will tell you, I cannot go abroad. Guess what? And especially in my country, Kenya, there are people who have established places to loot, like NYS and all those entrepreneurs and people who know how to, how to loot from the system. And those ones be like, because they get free easy money, and they be like, no, I cannot go, because you know what, maybe the current system is benefiting them and they're getting lots and lots of money. right? And they're speaking Germany. Is it Germany or German? I heard someone say that their kids speak, I think, Germany or German, something like that. But those ones would be in the category to tell you, don't go abroad. I cannot leave this country. Yes, because they have a system to loot. Okay? Yes, so know who is advising you on not going abroad. And now I'm going to talk about the people who are here who tell you it's not good. I've said there's two categories of people who are here and who will tell you it's not good. First, they came here, they have failed. Not just failed, they have been frustrated by the system, or it didn't work for them, or it's not what it is. Others, they are here, they are thriving, they want to be the only ones who are Maju, they are doing good things, they want to be flashing stuff on social media, they want to show you just how good life is here. They do not want you to come here because they think that sunshine is not going to be enough when we have so many of these people. But guess what? There's sunshine for everybody. Okay? Yes. And now I want to address that category of people who have failed or who got disappointed when they got here. And I just want to say, a lot of those people came here with the wrong information, with the wrong expectations, because there's expectations versus reality. Yeah. So if you come abroad with the wrong expectations, oh my God, this place is hard. It is so hard. People do think that going abroad is easy. I have people who tell me, when I come, am I going to get a job and a house? And I'm like, no, no, there's nothing like that. And I'm gonna say this, if your country has not assured you a job and a house, why would another country assure you of a job and a house? I just want to ask you that. Honestly. Yes, so I get a lot of those, and those are the people, when they get that chance to come here, they're like, where is the house, where is the job? And then you realize that you come here, it is very hard. Why is it hard? You have left your comfort zone, you have left your life, you've left your families, you've left your grandmothers. Do you know how hard it was for me to leave my grandmother? So you've left everybody, you've left all the things you loved, you even left your job and your house and your car to come here and start afresh. That is hard. But all these people in Canada, they immigrated from somewhere. That's what they did. Okay? That's what they did. They left their comfort zone, and they are making it work, and it has worked, and they are thriving. A lot of people are thriving. It's when you come with that right state of mind. It's when you do not have, you're not attached to your reputation. Because I know people have worked hard for their reputations abroad, and now you realize that you have to come here and leave everything and start afresh, and nobody gives a hoot who you are, right? So it is really, really hard. But guess what? It is doable. People do it all the time. You can do it with that right frame of mind. So no expectations versus reality. Know that it's not going to be, you're just going to hit the ground running. You are going to come, struggle with crawling, and then you learn to walk, and then you then you run, right? So it's a learning process. So it's good that you know what it is. At times you may have to do things that you did not expect to do. You may have to do jobs that you did not expect to do. When I came here, I made a video about the kind of jobs that I did when I was looking for my dream job. You may have to do that, because the people who thrive here are people who are open-minded, who are ready to do whatever it takes to make a living, who are ready to do whatever it takes to change their lives, who are looking for opportunities, whatever opportunities they are, and they are ready to do it. People who can thrive anywhere they are planted. Those are people who do actually thrive and enjoy this place. Okay? Yes. When I came, you should look for that video. When I came, I had my state of mind. I had my expectations. There are things I say I wish I knew when I came here, because maybe I would have come more prepared. They are not bad. But when I got here and I was looking for my job, a lot of people told me, oh, you will never get employed by the white person. No, you won't get those white collar jobs in downtown Calgary. They don't employ black people. They don't employ people with an accent like you. And these are people who look like me who told me that, because you know what? We bring a lot of baggage. We have a lot of fears in ourselves. and lack of self-confidence. And they told me that, and I said, you know what, I have my goal and I will pursue my goal. And I pursued my goal because I came from the boardroom back in Kenya, and I knew I would only thrive in boardrooms with CEOs and people who make big decisions, and I was ready to look for that. And I did whatever it took. I cleaned homes until I could find my job, and in about 3 months or so, I was able to get my job as an assistant to a CEO. Okay, I only quit that job a few months ago. Okay, yes. So it depends on your mind, on what is, you know, your attitude. It's so much your attitude. So come here with the right attitude, my friend, and let me tell you, this place is good because there are people who have come here and they are thriving, they are doing well. If I tell you Kenyans who do well here, a lot of them are just quiet for many reasons. People want to keep that low profile, but a lot of people have done well, they are doing well, they are earning money, like, you know, crazy money. They are living a good life, their children have the best opportunities, they are quiet. Okay, there are people from all over the world who are thriving in this country, but guess what? There's a lot of homelessness too. There are immigrants who came here. There's homelessness, there's drugs, there's, you know, there's abuse, there's everything. There's also all the vices that you see in the society. They are also here, and they are not discriminatory. They affect all of us, whether we are immigrants or whether we are locals or whoever we are. They do get to us if we are not careful, or if life gets us at a bad corner. Okay, so to make sure that we are not landing there, I tell people, just come prepared. Have that attitude to know that, you know what, I can do this. I know I can thrive. If it doesn't work for you, there's always that opportunity to go back home. I tell you, there are people who do come here and they go back home for many reasons. If you bring our parents here, some parents, you sponsor them, you work so hard to sponsor them, and then they come here, they look at the winter and they go back where they came from. They would rather go fend their cows. Okay, so I have seen that. So people always have, and I tell people, when you're going abroad, at times don't broadcast it too much, because things at times may not work the way you expected. So at times it's nice, and that's why people do keep a low profile for about 2 years until they figure out, is this the place that I want to be? Is this the place that I want to call home? And then if things really do not work out for any reason or the other, because they are bound to, it's life, they are bound maybe not to work, then you know that you always have your safety net. You can always go back home where maybe you're thriving, because I said anybody can thrive anywhere. Okay, right. And then the other thing why people do not thrive is the reason why you came abroad. Why did you come abroad, or why do you want to come abroad? And I do this in my consultations. I always ask people, why do you want to come abroad? And some people would say, you know what, because I am jobless, I've not been able to keep a job, it's so bad here. And I tell people, be very careful. If you're coming abroad because you think you cannot have a job, you've not been able to keep a job for 3 years or so, you've not been employed, going abroad is a bad decision you're about to make, because you cannot thrive here if you cannot keep a job. This is not going to be the place for you. And I can tell you, frankly, that many countries do not want people who have not been able to work or keep a job. They want people who are used to working, because then you can be a useful member of the society. And it's not just countries, my friend. It's the society at large. It's the world. The world wants people that work, people who are productive, people who can give back to the society, people who can pay taxes, people who cause the development of the society and the economy. So even your mom does not want you to just sit on the couch. They want you to get out of the house, go and be a productive person. The same thing. Countries do not want people who do not work or who cannot keep a job, because if you cannot do that, then you're going to overwhelm the social system. Okay, right? So be that person. If you're coming to abroad because it's your last, your last option, there are people who are like, yeah, I think now the only thing I have to do is go abroad because this is not a last resort. No, This is not a last resort. This is a place to come and adventure and seek opportunities. If you're coming here as a last resort, you will be so frustrated, because that is where expectations versus realities come in, because life here is not easy. Okay, life is not going to be easy, and I have seen people who have come here with the wrong expectations. They get into drugs, they get into alcohol, they get into bad habits, because the system here requires that you work very hard to earn a living, and then they fall through the cracks, they fall through the system, and it is so bad. The other thing, people that I have seen who have really failed is people who did not dream to come abroad. And I think I've said this before, people who did not dream. Coming here should be a dream. It's that thing that beats in your chest, like, I just want to go abroad because I know I can do so well. For people who this was not their dream, they do have a lot of issues settling and adjusting when you're dealing with winter, when you have to figure out yourself all over again and start life afresh. It can be very hard if this was not your dream. I know there are some families who think, oh, so and so, our so and so, I think we sent them abroad. We send them abroad, like you want to remove them from the situation, and then you're sending them to an unfamiliar place, a foreign place. And at times those people do set up their relatives for failure. Okay, all right. So again, check where you're getting your information from. People who tell you it's bad, they're telling you their experiences. There's a lot of people who do not tell you just how awesome this place is. I have seen people who are doing so well. They are my personal goals here. They are landlords. They have invested here. They have invested back home, or wherever you want to invest. It's up to you. People don't necessarily have to come invest back home for them to be seen to be successful. There are people who have invested out here and they are living their best life. So can you. Okay, so you have to you have to sift through the noise, the advice, everything. You have to know what it is you want, because if you do not try, you will never know what you missed. Okay, so if you have that opportunity, please take it. Come try it. If it doesn't work for you, please, you know what, you're welcome to go back home. If it works out for you, see, happy, you tried, right? Yes. Yes, because you're going to find that once you come here and call this place home, it has also its good sides and the bad sides. The same thing. Kenya is a wonderful place, I tell you. It has its pros, it has its cons. The same thing with these countries. You come here, you're going to find the good, the bad, because that is what life is. Every place has got its own. Otherwise, we can't have a perfect place, right? We cannot have a perfect place. So just know who is telling you not to go abroad. Also know the reasons why you want to go abroad. If you're going abroad for the wrong reasons, my friend, just stay where you are. Okay, where life is easier, because this place can be very, very, very hard if you're not mentally prepared. All right. Okay, as a parting shot, I want to give you a story about this person that I met. It was a really interesting story, and I felt motivated. This person came abroad, and they didn't have the right paperwork, and they were on the verge of being deported. And being deported is not good, right? Being deported is not good. I used to see people get deported in my hood back home, and their friends would be laughing. They'll be like, alideportiwa, alitoka majuu, wacha tuone venye ataishi huku. So I know just how hard it is to be deported, and that's why at times people do live underground, because of the shame that is associated with being deported. Anyway, this person was on the verge of being deported, and so they realized, they realized that they had like 2 years before their deportation would come to light. And this person downsized everything. They sold everything they had, and they took an extra job. They lived in shared accommodation. And this is not a young person. This is an elderly, like midlife person. And they worked so hard. 2 jobs, shared accommodation, minimum expenses, and they were making good money. And guess what? In 2 years, when they were ready to be deported, this person had invested a lot of money back home. They built a big apartment back home, a big apartment that was enough to give them about 300,000 Kenya shillings per month. Okay, and guess what, just when that project finished, they were able to get the first income. They had their paperwork go through here and they were no longer deportable. And I looked at that and I said, you know what, you can also come here. You don't have to plan to come here and live here forever. You can come here and do, sacrifice about 5 or so years of your life and go do something elsewhere. You can earn money, you can accumulate a lot of money and go wherever you want to go and do a good thing, and then you can retire early. Okay, so there are many reasons why you should come here. This is a wonderful place. I believe going abroad is a good idea, but just know whether you are the right person to go abroad, and whether you have the right reasons to go abroad, and whether you also have the right frame of mind. So is abroad the land of milk and honey? It is. It is not. Depends on people. I saw people in Canada saying that Canada is bad, and I believe them. I believe them because it is bad to them. I also believe that Canada is wonderful because I know a lot of wonderful things that I have experienced here. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you so much. Before I go, did I tell you about all those people who tell you don't come and they live abroad and they never go back home? Yeah? Always remember those people. Every time you ask someone, can I come abroad? Do you think coming abroad is good? And they tell you, no, don't come. It's a bad idea. Ask them, then what are you still doing there? Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.